And there we go. I have the microphone on. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. And thank you everyone for being here. And let's get into things. It is, oh, what the heck is it? It's Thursday, November the 3rd. A snow day. Well, actually, it was fairly clear here today, but cold. Winter's come, and that snow is still on the ground. Didn't melt, so hey, Dr. Fox in the house. Yep, it's cold outside, so he's going to be in the house. And thank you for the welcomes there, you guys. I appreciate that from Albert Girl and Sue and Piggy and Kevin Haynes and Sophie and Colin and all the rest. And Philomena, welcome. Anyway, glad to have everyone on board. First person in today was Sue Hayes. So Sue made it in, and that was pretty awesome. And I thought that was pretty good. Piggy, just wanted to say thank you for that, but I've already got that one covered. And I think it's very appropriate. So we'll show you that soon. Anyway, glad to have everyone on board here. My bad. What? Snort? What? Snort-re. Tree? Okay, never mind. I'm not going to say it. Snow tried? Oh, I can't read today. It's okay. Dyslexia has taken over, so it is all one of those things. Sorry in a piggish. Sorry in piggish. All right. That is awesome. Anyway, we'll carry on. We got to keep a smile on our face and be positive here. So, all good, you guys. And let's say hi to everyone in the chat here first off. But before we get to that, though, hello to our moderators, and we'll have Arizona Snowman in the house. Hiding in the background. Then, of course, we've got wonderful Piggy who's in there talking piggish things as pigletese. Oh boy, you're really confusing it now. Pigletese. Snortry? I have no idea. Oh boy. Anyway, C&D Boy is here too somewhere, as well as hopefully some of the other ones are hiding in the background as well, like Gary 24/7 what is it? Yeah, 24/7 Live, AZ Skies, and as well as possibly Joseph Fields and Lucas Snow in the background as well, maybe. But anyway, probably don't need all of them there. It is good to have them in the background though. Sits and sty head and trotters. Oh, don't do that, Piggy. You're all good. Unless those fur babies don't want to let you into the bed yet. Piggy sent me a picture of how they're all sprawled out on her bed, and no place for her, unfortunately. So she's kind of having a hard time there, trying to figure out how to move them. And of course, one has attached itself to Piggy's leg with claws, and I don't know how she's going to manage to get that one off. But thanks for that picture, though, Piggy. That was pretty cool. We won't show it, but it's all good. Anyway, welcome to everyone in here, and we'll start. Gary is always hiding. Yeah, he does. Welcome to Philomena. Hang on, I gotta do something here before I get into that. My canned lava's running out. We gotta make sure we got a little bit more left in that can here. Oh, hang on. I just looked at it. No, canned lava is not. Oh, it is too. I'm on the wrong one. No wonder. Yep, we're going to back that up a bunch, and we'll use that later. And about there. Okay. Anyway, welcome everyone, and we'll start out with John Raper is here, as well as Henry Nelson and Sasha and Philomena and Sue Hayes, who got the cookies. Kevin Haynes is here. King Colin Deadman also in the house. Alba Girl is here, and Kim Rowdenbush, and I hope you figured out your medical problems there. And hopefully you didn't lose too much hair in the process. Also welcome to Sophie, and let's see, we got John, got Kim, Tom Dice, and Pepper, and somebody's speaking Pig Latin, and that's what it is. I figured Greekish. I don't know how that goes. Anyway, never mind. Before I get in trouble, Scott Hardman, welcome. Glad to have you here as well. Got Colin. All right. Got Kim. Got Alba Girl. And, of course, Philomena we got. And going up some more here, looking for other names that I did not say hi to as of yet. Sophie, of course, is here. I don't know if I mentioned Sophie. And we'll go up a little bit more and see who else is in here. Lots of chatting going on, though, which is good. And that's exactly what we want in a chat room. And that works. Okay, sliding up here looking for more wonderful names. And I got John already. Looking. There's so many, but it's all the same people. We've mentioned all of these people before. Okay. They're a chatty bunch. We like it. Going up a little bit more here, looking for other names. So, and missing a few of the other ones that we normally see up on the top. Lizoid, I think I said hi to you already, and I'm all the way to the top. And of course, Hermione Schaefer, Hermione and Fluffy. Speaking of Hermione, I heard through the grapevine that it's your birthday today. So Hermione, happy birthday. And let's get you a birthday tune. There we go. So hopefully I'm right. And happy birthday, Hermione. Hopefully the windmill is fitting, and it'll work. And that'll be, yeah. Well, I was looking at the other cake. It was of a wooden shoe, but I think this is more appropriate. It's got the flowers on it and stuff. Hermione, there she is. Oh, that's so nice. You are welcome, Hermione. And welcome, Billy Bob Joe. I see you in there. Please don't sing. No, Tom, I'm not singing today. I definitely am not singing today. You're all safe. Don't worry about that. But I'll let you guys sing, and that is definitely a welcome. So, anyway, hope you're feeling young and you had a wonderful day, Hermione, and that you have many, many more. And that is always important. Birthdays, that is. And all cool. So, yeah. There we go. Everybody's saying happy birthday. And that is awesome. Yeah, that cake looks pretty cool. For someone like Hermione, a quick question, Hermione. From your house, can you see any windmills like this? Any of the Dutch windmills? I'm just curious. From your own home, when you're out in the yard anywhere, can you see any windmills? I'm just kind of a silly question, but I'm curious. So, anyway, let's see. Yep, lots of birthday wishes here for Hermie, and that is great from everyone in the channel. I do appreciate that for her, and that is awesome. You don't know, but my married name is Wonder Moon, okay, which is of the mill. No, not that close. Okay, okay, Vandermeulen. Well, a Mühlen is same thing in German, basically. It's a mill, and that is pretty cool. Awesome. And yep, there you go, Hermione, and thank you for being part of our wonderful lava family here. So I'm glad you have a great day. Anyway, we'll carry on with our good stuff here and get to work on what we're doing. And of course, that is having a look around and seeing what we need and want for our volcanoes. And let's pop over and have a look at Iceland first. Fairly quiet day in Iceland, although kind of good things, but we're backing up a little bit here. Just about 7 hours ago, I want to see what it looked like there. There you go. That is the city of Reykjavik, of course, and we see what it looked like today. They had fairly nice weather, so not a bad day there. We'll take a look at the other shot. This, of course, is right now, and the airport is down here in this area. If we back up about 7 hours roughly, this is what we get to see, and there you go. Some more clear skies, but you notice the sun is at a very low angle, and that is kind of the way it is in the winter time there. The sun doesn't get very high above the horizon, so kind of that's kind of the brightest time of the day, I guess, and then it starts sinking again. But anyway, Earth shapes, yep. Let's take a look at the other one here. Of course, this is out looking at Katla, and this is about 7.5 hours ago. And there you can see that ice field in the background here, and that is where that is. And looks pretty nice there, and everything looks kind of goldish colored. And again, that's because the sun angle being so low. It puts a different color perspective on it. Yeah, no clouds for a change. Only a couple little ones, and nice to be able to see it. But again, we don't know what's going on there right now. It could get a little bit on the wild side in the future, but right now fairly quiet. Definitely nothing coming out of Katla, otherwise we would be seeing it today in here somewhere. So there you go. Let's put that back to live, and then we'll sneak on over to our wonderful harmonic tremor chart, and we'll take a look at that for first off our Fjord area, and then we'll take a look at a few of the other ones as well. So there is what it looks like today at Fjord, and of course that is our Ragnar area, and yep, downward trend. Not so happy, but hey, it is what it is, and we take every day with a little bit of get up and go and a little bit of disappointment. Hey, Yona, there's some get up and go. Welcome, Yona. Glad to have you on board. And yep, fairly quiet there. So Fjord area is doing its thing, but quiet. Moving up, we're going to take a look at Askja real quick, and let's see, Asja, there we go, and you see how busy Asja is. They've had some quakes, repetitive quakes, and most of the activity in the morning, afternoon died off fairly quiet then, but morning stuff was up quite a bit, and so that is something we got to wonder about, and we'll see what happens. Now, I was speaking with Yvonne Kunkel, and she did mention that the seismic energy is up a little bit, but it is not that high. Dem Asja, Asja is fairly quiet, but it's Herderbreed, and that is the one that we're going to wonder about, and Herderbreed being right next to it. So a little bit of increase in that seismic energy, and of course that is what's going to make the difference between are we going to see an eruption or not. And right now seismic energy is still quite low in the sense of where we're at. Geological rave in the center of Iceland, folks. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yep, it is. Anyway, let's. That's at Asja. Let's go all the way down and look at the Grimsey chart. And of course, Grimsey is a little bit further north than Asja. As a matter of fact, Grimsey is actually not even on the Icelandic island. It's actually a little bit further north on its own little island called Grimsey, and there's Grimsey. Grimsey is quiet today. We don't see very much at all from Grimsey. A couple of little quakes, and downward, steady as she goes. So really, really, not hurt. Kim, no, it's not called hurt her brain. It's hurt her breed. But you're close. You're close. You almost got it. Anyway, Grimsey, of course, being that island all by itself up on the northern end, and that is what we see. We keep getting power outages. Well, why the heck are you doing that, Piggy? Oh, hang on. Is it gremlins? Do you have gremlins, Piggy? Herderbreed. Yep. I hope I'm saying it right, Yona. Herderbreed? Herderbreed. I'm very close, I guess, or close enough. Anyway, let's leave that one alone. Let's take a look at Grindavik. No, I'm not saying it right. Okay, I don't speak Icelandic, so. Okay, it sounded like Doc said hurt her brain. No, not hurt her brain. Hurt her breed. Hurt her breed. That means everyone's told me wrong so far. Anyway, looking at Grimsey, the chart is also heading downward, or Grindavik, I mean, and Grindavik, of course, being down on the bottom end of the peninsula there. But good work, Dr. Fox. Thank you, Yona. I appreciate that. Anyway, we see what we've got. I'm going to put this back on Fregrelfjeld, and we'll continue on here with, there we go, right about there. All right, we'll leave it there. Let's go take a look at the earthquakes and see what we do have. And even with, the uptick in seismic energy, it really wasn't a heck of a lot. Now, let's actually start down on the bottom. We do see the bigger ones up in the top here, which is okay, near Grimsey, but we'll take a look here and see what we've got down on the bottom end by the Reykjanes Peninsula first off, and that's kind of where Reykjanes Peninsula is. For those who aren't familiar with it, there's the Keflavik Airport, Keflavik, Reykjanesbær, Jarvik, the capital city of Reykjavik, and Jona is over here somewhere, and she should be okay with that. And of course, here's Grindavik down here, and if we zoom in, we can show you where the Blue Lagoon and the power plant is located. So that's what we've got, and looking pretty awesome there. Anyway, out on the tip of the peninsula, we do have some quakes in the water, nothing really big. 0.5, 1.1 kilometers down from 1837 is that guy. Then we've got a magnitude 1.23 and 3.9 clicks down. 2352 from yesterday, and this guy is from today, 0.1, 5.3 clicks down, very, very small, 1841, and the other one is also at 0.1, 4.6 kilometers down, and that is from 2128. Looking at some of these other ones here, and 9:44 a.m. we had a magnitude 0.7. 3 at 5.2 kilometers down, and a few little guys stacked up here, 0.64, 5.7 clicks down, 12.26 for that guy. Then a 12.59 we had a 0.11, 5.8 kilometers down, and also a 0.56 at that same time, 6.3 kilometers down. And that's what we've got over there. Moving closer to Grindavik, we do see this 0.7, and it's 3.9 kilometers down, 25 minutes after midnight, and that's what we've seen there. Now getting over in our area, Fragilafjall, and that is roughly about like this, that area. And if we kind of make a loop around it, it is its own independent system, and of course it's got its own independent earthquakes. 0.79, 10.3 kilometers down at 8:42 a.m. for that guy. 0.67, 13.3 kilometers down. Wow. 6:37 a.m. for him. And then a 0.42, 12.4 kilometers down, 11:03 a.m. Way too low to be able to do anything with. And of course, Ragnar would be right around here, and of course the Siggy Fisher is here, and that is where that is located. And unfortunately, these are way too deep to do anything with, and hopefully we'll see more shallow stuff in the future. I really would love to see another volcano in Maradalnia Valley. It really would be awesome. Anyway, 0.24, 1.1 kilometer down, 9:26 a.m. for him. 0.83, 7.7 kilometers down from 7:25 a.m. Moving a little further east, we see a small group of 4, very small stuff though, 0.5, 8.3 clicks down from 1319, and then we have a 0.22, 7.6 kilometers down at 8:38, and then at 6:12 a.m. we had a 0.25, 8 kilometers down for him, and then we also had a 0.28, 8.2 kilometers down at 7:54 a.m. Let's see, just don't revise the video. Oh, what happened? Somebody did a video. You will have to excuse me, but I'm in the shower. Why? No, we don't need to know that. We don't need to know that, Storm Chaser. You're having showers there. Anyway, a magnitude 1.05, 7 kilometers down from 1247 right there. And then we have nothing until we get way over here towards Katla. And of course, some of the other ones that I can't pronounce. Anyway, 1753 for this 0.5, 6.1 kilometers down, And this is another 5.2 kilometers down, 7:46 a.m. And then we've got a 1.3, and that is 5.2 kilometers down from 7:13 a.m. Moving a little closer to Katla, we had a 2.2, and that is 5.2 kilometers down from 16:32. And then we also had a 1, and that is 5.2 clicks down at 10:02 a.m. This little guy, 0.4, 6 kilometers down at 10:45. And let's see what else we got here. 1.3 and 5.2 kilometers down seems to be a common depth today, and that is from 1:41 a.m. Then we've got from 2:06 a.m. 1.2, again 5.2 kilometers down. So there we go, and that is where Katla is. That's that big ice hill we were looking at, and nothing going on there really. Moving up and over a little bit, we did have a small quake here, and that is at Grimsvatn. And Grimsvatn has got a 0.6, 7.2 kilometers down, 3:52 a.m. For that guy. Now, it gets a little more interesting. Here's Astja. Astja all of a sudden had a bunch of little guys today. Little tiny tremors, 0.55, 1.2 kilometers down, and that is from 10:11, and then 0.1, 3.4 clicks down, 1950, 0.3 from 1944, 4.1 clicks down. We had a 0.6, and that was 5.2 kilometers down, 947. This guy here, 0.35, 4.9 kilometers down from 434. And then the last one there at Astja, 6:04 a.m., 0.61, 4.08 kilometers down for him. And that is that area. Now we're going up here into this little swarm, and the mispronounced herdebreed is right there, and it's all good. We do have some down here. I just want to take a look at the depth on these ones. This one's actually from yesterday, 2333, 0.7, 5.2 kilometers down. The next one over 0.4, 5.2 clicks down from 20 minutes after 10 in the evening there. And there we go, 6:32 a.m., 0.6, 5.2 clicks down as well for him. And now we're going to get into the soup, and there is a lot of little quakes, and they seem to be right on the side here. They seem to have migrated down from up here down towards the volcano itself, and I'm wondering if we're going to see something pop up beside it, or maybe another cone on top of it, if it in fact does erupt. That is a big question yet. And we do know, though, that as Yvonne had mentioned to me, that the seismic energy has gone up. It's only gone up a small fraction. It needs a lot more energy to be able to produce really a good eruption. Thank you for the 5-minute warning, Piggy. And that's awesome. Anyway, let's take a look at some of these. This 2.14 was 1.9 kilometers down. Looking at the other ones right next to it, 0.6, and it's 400 meters down. 17:15 was the time on that guy. What about these other ones here? 2.1 kilometers down for this, 0.87 from 20 minutes after midnight. I kind of got a frog in my throat again. I don't know why that's happening. I thought I'd cleared my throat before I started the show. Anyway, 35 minutes after midnight, 0.3 at 2.9. And then we get over here. The newer ones seem to be a little bit deeper, 4.7 kilometers down from 7:49 a.m. Then let's go up here and look at some of these other ones. 2.6 clicks down for this 1.2, 1 minute after midnight. And let's grab this guy up on top of the mountain, 10.4 kilometers down at 16:38 for that 1.2. And then we'll get into some of these larger ones here. 2.49, 3.7 kilometers down, and that was at 3 minutes after 2 a.m. And remember, when we looked at the chart, those the stuff in the morning was more active than what we've seen in the afternoon. So a lot of these are interesting. Anyway, 2.7 is the magnitude for this one. 4.1 kilometers down at 4:16 a.m. Moving up a little bit more. Let's grab this 2.74, 3.6 kilometers down from 8:21 a.m. And we'll start grabbing some of the newer ones in this area. 0.6, 4 kilometers down, 18:45. This one, 3.5 kilometers down, 9:55 a.m. 1.63, 3 kilometers down, 5:28 for him. And let's just grab a couple more here. 3.1 clicks down, 1.7 kilometers, 1.7 in magnitude, 3.1 kilometers down, and 13:25 for that. And I don't know if we want to grab too many more here. 1.26, 3.2 kilometers down, and that was at 8:03. And most of these that I've looked at are somewhere between 3 and 5 kilometers down. Majority of them right around that 3 mark. So it kind of makes a guy wonder, what the heck we've got going on here. Because yesterday it looked like some of them were a little bit shallower than that. So, did we just get some uplift for the shallow ones, or are we actually getting uplift because of magma? And so far, that is still an unknown. 10:24 a.m. we had a 1.25, 2.3 kilometers down, so that one's a little bit shallower again. Some of these other ones, 5.2 clicks down for the 0.2 there. This 0.6, again, 5.2 clicks down. 0.3, 5.2 clicks down. And again, 0.7, 5.2 kilometers down. 1.5, 5.2 kilometers down. I think that's kind of odd that they're all at same depth, but that is what we've got in that area. Is it possible that we could have an eruption there? Yes. Is it probable? Yeah. I'm going, I don't know. Up in the air. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, a real quick peek at these bigger ones here. There's not too many at the top. Anyway, we did have a 3.24, 10.005 kilometers down, and that was 11:06 a.m. There's some other big ones in there, bigger, not bigger than what we've seen, but this one here, 2.33, 10 kilometers down, 8:25 a.m. Then we've got 2.5, 10 kilometers down, 11:08 as well. And fairly deep, these guys, 1.76 from 13:24, 10 kilometers down. And I don't think that is going to really matter much for us. Then we got a 2.45 up here, 12.7 kilometers down, 20:03. This 1.4, 5.2 kilometers down. There's from 7:34. There's also another 1.5 right here. 5.8 kilometers down from 21:54, and this point, or 1.3, 6.1 kilometers down, 21:41. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it. There's a few more, but we really don't need to worry about them. 10.1 clicks down for the 2.41 from 2240, and I'll leave it at that. So some activity, total of 274 quakes there in the last 24 hours, but that is plenty fine, not a worry. We'll put you back on some canned lava. I am going to go for a break, so all you good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, help us out. It is the most economical and easiest way to support the stream. So please bop that like button. And on that friendly note, also a reminder for those people who have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this. That way you won't miss any future shows. On that note, I'm going to go for a break. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North. And I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Thank you. go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board today. And of course, you're seeing the Cumbre Vieja stuff from November 1st right there on the screen right now. I could actually take that banner off of there. I forgot all about that. There we go. Take that off. And that's better. So thank you for the welcome backs from Albagirl and the Piggy, Sir Fox, yeah, and Sasha, thank you, and welcome, and let's see, who else we got here, Scott Hartman, and Sharon Stewart, welcome, and I hear you, DrFox2000, all right, awesome, I see a couple more people popped in, who was it, Grandma B is here, of course. Kathy also made it in. Aloha, Kathy. Glad to have you on board. And we got Henry earlier, I think, but welcome anyway. And there he is, Trevor T. Winky Wonky Donkey. And welcome, Trevor. Glad to have you on board. Gren Zed also in here and dives under waves. Easy. Okay. He's wave diving, and that's all cool. And I think we're good with the names from right now, or for right now, and all cool. And if I didn't say hi to you, I do say hi to you, just I didn't see you, and that's the way it is. Anyway, let's carry on. We're going to stop our canned lava here for a second, and at least give it a quick try here to stop it. Things have been kind of weird with the computer again. I did have to reboot this morning, more Windows updates, and I thought to myself, when is this going to end? But anyway, let's go over to Sicily, and we'll take a look at what is happening at Mount Etna today. And I can tell you already, really not that much, but I just figured, hey, we'll go over there and we'll have a look. Going back to, I guess, about 8 hours ago, roughly, that is what we were seeing. I did make a time lapse, and I forgot to load the darn thing. So I'm going to do that right now and let you guys watch that. It's fairly quick. Wow. Standard time lapse. Where is November? N would come at what point? Hang on. Etna, October, November 2nd. But I thought it's November 3rd. Oh, I dated it wrong. Darn it. Yep, I did too. And there you go. That was the problem. Anyway, there is our stuff from earlier this morning at Mount Etna in Sicily. And we do like that. Those clouds were zipping along pretty good. And today they happen to be heading off in a different direction. Normally we see them heading off to the left. Today they're going to the right side. So the winds are coming from the other direction. And that is pretty awesome. And of course you see the mouse flying around there because I forgot to turn the mouse off. Or hang on, that's not a mouse, that's a hamster. Anyway, that is kind of what we seen, and I thought, we'll share it. And it really is amazing how these clouds and the formations, when you have a decent background, you can see what it's doing. And having seen this before, it in different modes or different days, it's really quite interesting to me to see that cloud formation dissipating and revamping itself and all that. So pretty wild. And the occasional fire going on in the foreground as well is kind of neat. So I can't remember, I think it's about 4 hours worth of video that is crunched down into about 2 minutes, or just under 2 minutes. So looks pretty decent, and we do like that. But yeah, it should be, and that's it. I was going to say it should be over, and there it is. So that is what it looked like there at Mount Etna this morning, and of course this was at 4:36 in the afternoon as the sun is starting to set, and you can definitely see that it is still off-gassing quite a bit. So we should be seeing that plume headed in the opposite direction today when we get to our wonderful SO2 map, and we'll put that one back on live so we know where it is. Next volcano I actually want to go to, and let me go over to the other page here, is this guy, and that should be working. And of course that is not because Kim is here, that's because Stromboli was doing stuff. And actually during the daytime it was quite active, like compared to what it was in the last couple of days. It was quite active. So not seeing that activity right now. Yes, I know, Kim, that is Stromboli, delicious food, and you can eat that mountain at any time. Smoke always rising on that view. Yep, a lot of them. Most of the time. Sometimes we don't see that smoke though, Gren said. Sometimes it's quite quiet. And we've had those times where, there's nothing coming out of Etna. Then all of a sudden we start to see smoke again. But anyway, Stromboli right now kind of in what we call an intermission, if you will. Like I said earlier, it was doing pretty good. Yep, rock cake. He'll like that. Strombolis. Actually, a decent Stromboli would be all right about now, too. I wouldn't mind that. Although I did, while I was out, I had to go shopping for coffee creamer, and I did buy some very fresh croissants, and I grabbed those, and I had a couple before the show here, so that was all right. Anyway, let's leave Stromboli be. It's quiet, it is moving, it's doing its thing. We'll go over to the Azores and see what is happening there. And ooh, that looks foggy, and not sure why, but it looks foggy to me. Anyway, the lights you see, of course, in the foreground, that is the harbor area. And then you have a town site here. We are on the island of São Jorge, or São Jorge, and this is what it looks like during the daytime, if it'll show it real quick. And there you can see the island called Pico Island, and volcano is Pico Volcano, or Mount Montana, which is its other name. Anyway, that is what we've got there. Let me get over to the right page to be able to change that. And we'll do this. Why is it taking time to load? Darn it. Anyway, looking at our little cove here, and we typically watch for the white water to wash up here. Doesn't look too rough tonight, which is really good. For those who aren't familiar with that shot, this is the daytime version of it, but not from today, and it looked really quiet there on that day. But you do see down on the bottom here, you do see the waves crashing into the shore a little bit, so it's not bad major activity or anything like that, but it is there, so all good. Anyway, a quick peek to see what we've got for earthquakes. And remember yesterday we didn't have anything there on São Jorge at all. Today we do have one, and it is a 1.5, happened at 12:23, and that is it. And that is on the island of São Jorge. And of course here's Pico Island, Fayal Island, and Terceira. And Terceira is where the other volcano is located. So when you're looking on the volcano map, you see two active in the Azores. One is consider to be here. The other one is right there. Whoop, zoom in, zoom in. Thank you, Piggy. Wow. And Piggy puts in a super chat of £2, and thank you very kindly, Piggy. And that is very, very nice of you. And thank you. I rock, eh? Volcanic rock at that. Oh boy, I know, bad humor. Okay, moving on. Let's refresh this one here, and we'll get the right stuff in here. Did that refresh? Yep, it did. Okay, I'm making the map slightly larger so we can see what's going on. And as mentioned, we only seen the one that was on St. George, and there it is there. 11 hours ago, 1.5. Up here northwest of Fayal Island, we have this one here 5 hours ago, 2.1. And then also 58 minutes ago, just to the west, is this guy here, 2.8, a little bit bigger. And again, that is Fayal Island. It looks like a rocket ship or something. Anyway, looking over here at the other one, as we mentioned, Terceira Island, and the fault, of course, goes right through it. And we've got one on either side of that fault. And there's from 18 hours ago, 2.1, and 23 hours ago, 2.1. So two of them in that area, which is kind of weird, but hey, we don't mind it, and we can see that. Anyway, I zoom in on that volcano again, just so you guys can see what it looks like there. Very interesting, and I like those flows that did come off of it way, way back when. And yes, most of this is farmland, and these deltas that they've created, and forest areas in the other portions of it. And you can see where the flow patterns have gone in the past. So if they do get an eruption here, likely we'll end up going to the northeast here, or perhaps to the north on this side, because this portion of the caldera is quite high. The activity should be down in here if it does erupt, right? But no guarantees of that. We'll see what happens in the future. And looking at our list here for November 3rd, of course, they're only showing that one quake, and that is what we've got, 7 kilometers down, 2.8, and that is, I guess, boring. The other ones are also listed here, 2.1, 1 kilometer down, then the 1.5, 2.1, 8 kilometers down, 2.1, 6 kilometers down. And of course, the only 1.5 here being on St. George surface quake. The other ones are all a little bit deeper. And that is it for our Azores for today. Let's slide over to Popocatépetl in Mexico. Have a quick peek there and see what we've got. Some fancy designs, people swimming, and oh yeah, sure. What the heck is going on there? How come we got people swimming? How about that? They were swimming up in the caldera, and it's now a very warm pool up top here. Anyway, there's Popocatépetl, and don't go swimming in there. You can't. Synchronized swimming at that, yes. And let's not try this at home. Anyway, let's back up to as far as we can get, and that is about, I don't know, somewhere around here, 11 hours ago. You do see a fairly decent glow up in the crater. This was from 5:53 a.m. And then, of course, it switched to a color mode, and after that we didn't see it as well anymore. But it did continue to smoke all day long, as far as we could tell, and nothing really major coming out of it, though. And even in between the clouds, you could still see that it was doing its thing. And by the way, most of the snow was gone off of here, which is also a good sign for them. And as we carried on, those clouds kind of sat on top and making it difficult for us to see anything. And as we continued on, that cloud stuff kept getting thicker and lower, and till the point where you could see the sky above, right? And then the clouds came back with a vengeance, but we did have a little earlier here. I'm trying to get it to the right spot. When it did clear, a little bit of a puff coming out at 17:21, which is 5:21 their time. And let's see if we can advance this a little bit and see the next puff or plume coming out of there. And there it is. And when we just let it play, it came out fairly slowly. It is a very dark ash and stuff like that, but still a little bit on the slow side for my liking. I like to watch it blast out like what Fuego does, and it's not the same volcano, right? This is Popocatépetl, not Fuego, and that's kind of what we've got there. And it did do a little bit more of that. Piggy throwing a wow, Piggy, thank you very kindly, and that's another £2 super chat, and thank you. I do appreciate that, Piggy. 5-minute warning, by the way. I got it. Thanks, and awesome. Okay, and looking at what we're seeing here, we did have one more of those bursts a little bit later, and that was at 7:43, and there you can see this one was a little bit more nasty than the other ones, but again, still not anything really super like what we see over at Fuego. Let's leave that guy be, and I'm going to put him back on live, which is not that bad. And we'll take a quick peek at the other ones, see if we can see anything. No, we can't. And there is our favorite color, Fuego, and that is volcano gray in the evening setting. And here's our volcano peaking out at about 14:52, and we didn't see a heck of a lot other than that blast. And you see the difference in speed of how quickly the material is coming out in comparison to Popocatépetl. And that is a lot quicker, a lot faster moving ash cloud, and a lot more pressure behind it. So that is kind of nice to see. But visibility was extremely poor and hit and miss for the most part. Here's another one that is kind of in between here in the clouds at 14:28, and we do see that bursting out as well, and again doing its thing. I just wish we had clear skies and a little bit more activity, and I got the 4 minutes, Tom, thank you. And now as we slide back a little bit more, I'm trying to look for a decent shot here in between, but most of it was just too much cloud to see anything, and it wasn't until you get back to the wee hours in the morning here. This is 10 hours 35 minutes ago, and we had a little bit of a plume come out of there, and again still very hazy looking and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we were seeing. Backing up a little bit more, and I'm hoping we can get back far enough to see the other one. No, we can't. They're not allowing us to do 12 hours today. Darn it. But anyway, this particular one here was actually fairly good because it kept on running, and we can also see that we had a lot of material dropping down the sides, indicating a lot of rocks and tephra material being ejected out of the cone. And that is always cool. That is mountain building material, and we like it. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if we can find another spot here where it did something. Yeah, this one here. Oop, I went past it. I want to back up a little bit more. Right about here, yeah. And again, you see how quickly that bursts out of there, and that is pretty neat to see. And that moves a lot quicker than, like I said, over at Popocatépetl. So this thing being what it is, it really shoots out. Dr. Fox, it's all good. Mahala, I missed you folks. Okay, no worries, Kathy. Glad to have you on board. And let's see who popped in. Lucas popped in as well. Welcome. Glad to have you on board. And Arizona Snowman is also in the house, showing himself. And good to have you on board. Okay, that is Fuego. Let's take a look and a quick peek at Merapi. And right now, Merapi is actually kind of visible, kind of, but it wasn't so nice earlier. Didn't see any lava when I was checking it just a few minutes back, and that was about a half an hour ago. And that's what we had. And notice the camera view there had disappeared. This one got cloudy. But earlier in the nighttime, we did have kind of grainy picture and not very good. And volcano gray for the most part all the way across here. Let's maybe pop over. We're going to pop over to New Zealand real quick. And there's Mount Ruapehu. And Mount Ruapehu hiding in the clouds as well. I don't know if they had a decent shot of it earlier or not. I think it was actually a fairly nasty clouds too. So even going back in time, we're not going to be able to see much. This is about an hour ago. And let's see, if we go back 5 hours ago, 5.5 hours ago, that's what we were looking at, some pretty heavy-duty rain clouds, and you could see that it was dumping over on top of those good people. And that is it for this one. So that is what we've got there right now. Ruapehu in the clouds, but it's starting to clear up, which is always nice. That's normal for spring. I kind of figured so, rain showers and stuff coming in at Grenzen. It really doesn't surprise me for you guys down there. And pretty cool, pretty awesome. Anyway, gonna put you back on some canned lava here, and it is time for me to go take that break. And after we get back from the break, we'll have a look at some bacon seeds. And boy, did I have trouble converting those, Piggy. I don't know what format you sent those in, but I had to try to do screen captures. And hopefully they turned out all right. Anyway, for those good people who are here, we're way shy. We need to get to 100 likes. So anyone who hasn't hit that like button yet, please give it a quick bop. And really, really help us out. And we are looking to hit that target of 100. Also looking for a few more subscribers for those good people who aren't subscribed watching the show from the outside. Please consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. On that note, done them on PC. We'll go back to phone tomorrow. Okay, Piggy, that sounds good. Yeah, I don't know what the heck version of stuff it was. Windows Edge, Microsoft Edge did open it, and then I had to do screen captures on them. But it is what it is, and I understand it's from the computer. So, but anyway, thank you, Piggy, and no worries. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go take that break. I'll be back with bacon seeds after the break. Smile, don't play in the lava. Lava's hot. Lava will burn you, and our insurance doesn't cover it. All right, don't go away. I'll be back. Thanks. we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all here. Welcome back, Dr. Fox a lot. Thanks, Piggy. And thanks, Sue and Albergirl. And welcome to Eddie Oturo. Glad to have you on board. Kevin Haynes, thanks. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. Scott also saying welcome back, as well as Sasha and Kananaskis Country. And Hermione, who, yeah, I read that. And it was confusing, Hermione, because when you put down, it was torn down in 1922, we were starting to think, hang on, 1922 and 2022, that's 100 years ago, and if you've seen that, that makes you at least 110 years old. Didn't think that was quite right, but anyway, that is from your house. That would have been the closest one. That is understood, and they did tear it down back then, and you would have been able to see it had it still been there. Got it. So for those people thinking Hermione is 110 or 120, forget that. She's a little younger than that, just a bit. Anyway, just had to throw all that in and straighten that out. Okay, bacon seat time, you guys, and let's park our lava here for a minute. I got to put the whole button on there. Whoop, hit the wrong button. All right, that is good. And lots of places don't exist anymore. You're right, Sasha. There's lots. The world is changing, and just in nature, it's a dynamic planet. As far as humans, well, they're doing dynamic work as well, and forever changing and rebuilding things, and take a look at what we've got for longevity on this planet. The oldest items that we know of are the pyramids, and there's controversy there as to the exact age, but still, if 4,000 years old is pretty old, and look at what's happening to them. They're decaying. In another couple thousand years, you won't even recognize that they were pyramids, and that's one of those things. So what happens to past civilizations? Everything is broken down and buried and disintegrated from nature, and that's part of being on a dynamic planet. So I thought Irish Monk was older. Yeah, well, he is. He's like 1900 and some years old. Very close to that anyway, or 1200, 1900. I can't remember. He's old. We need pyramid preservation. Yep, I agree, Sharon Stewart. And it's either that or we build a bunch of new ones. How about that? Anyway, let's get over to the bacon seeds, and we want to take a look at what we've got going on. So anyone for wanting to build a big pyramid, just bring 20,000 of your bestest friends there. We've got modern equipment we can use, and I'm sure we can get funding for putting together a few of them. Dr. Fox, there are two close, but I can't see. Oh, okay. No worries, Hermione, that's all okay. And that was the last bacon seed from yesterday. And here's the first one from today. And this guy's got a really wonderful smile on him. Actually, at first I looked at this picture and thought, hey, hold it, that's a calf. But it's not. It's not a cow, it's a pig. And a cow pig, yeah, possibly. And Lego block pyramid. Yep, we could do that too, but that won't last. Oh, hang on. Well, it'll last between 800 and 1200 years, and that's how long that plastic will stay in one piece. Anyway, let's keep going here. What? Everything that man builds eventually has to be repaired or replaced. Well, yeah, it does. Anyway, here's our next little guy, and this is a handsome little smiley fella being held up for show, and definitely worthy of having a quick peek at, and we like that. So it's a pie, yeah. And here's some more wonderful little pigs. And these are snow pigs with racing stripes. They're going snowmobiling pretty soon. And we see them there. They're awesome little bacon seeds. And Göbekli Tepe and further northeast, still older still. Yep. Grenzed, actually, the pyramids are older than what they're saying. Seriously, the pyramids are miscalculated as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, we'll get to that one day. Here's a little bit of a snow time hug, and a little bit of smooching going on there. And we see what they've got going on. Actually, we don't want to see. They are cute though, smiling, and a little bit of a nuzzling contest there. Snow bunnies, yeah. They're snow buddies maybe, but not bunnies. And here's our next one, and this guy is looking again, smiling and having a look at something. And that is pretty good. I've been under the middle pyramid. Oh, and through archaeology, they dug you out and revived you. Were you in one of the tombs, John Raper? I'd love to be in one of those pyramids. That would be a cool place to go. You have snow already? Yes, Kathy. It snowed for about 24 hours, and we've got a bunch on the ground. And Saturday or Friday night is supposed to snow all through Saturday as well again. So pretty awesome. Anyway, our last bacon seed for today is this fine little seasonal looking guy. And again, yeah, he kind of reminds me of an elf. The way his ears are shaped, I think this is an elf pig. And all we need to do is get a little green hat for him, and we'll have an elf pig. But that's, yep, camper piggy. Seasonal camper piggy. And we see that. That's awesome. Making a Christmas bacon. There you go. Gonna have bacon for Christmas. But we did have one extra one thrown in here, and this is just to add confusion. And yeah, ooh, love the trailer. It is nice, Sharon. Here's one to confuse you a little bit, and this one here, of course, was just sent to me. This is not one from Piggy. This is one that's a little bit more confusing. And of course, this is a pig. Okay, a combination, a turkey and pig put together. So it's a pig. And don't get confused. That is definitely not on the menu for your Thanksgiving dinner. But see, pigs can fly. There you go, Tom. Of course they can. Pigs can fly. Turkey pig. But they call it a pig in the picture. And that is pretty awesome. That's it for our bacon seeds today. So again, a big thank you to Piggy. And let's see, who actually sent the other one in here. Looking, and I do believe that might have been Grandma B. I don't know. With her turpig, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And that is pretty cool. So awesome. It was Grandma B. Yep. And thank you for sharing that one, Grandma B. That's all awesome. Always like these pictures that are sent in, and very cool, neat stuff. Okay, we will carry on to where we're going here. Maybe we won't. Let's see what we got there. Why is Semaru not working anymore? Let's try to refresh that, and we'll see if we can get it to come back up. And no, they went off the air. So I guess we are not looking at Semaru today. Let's carry on, and we will go over to Japan. And of course, in Japan, we see Sakurajima. Kevin Haynes just renewed his 10th month membership. Thank you, Kevin. And that is coming up for many people right now. And awesome. Thank you for renewing. I'm just going to get myself on the right screen here. And of course, that is what we're seeing right now. That is live from Japan, and that is Sakurajima. If we go to the other shot here, we don't have any ice cream boats in. I think he's over there still coming, and we'll have to wait a few minutes before we can go get ice cream. But while that's happening, we actually want to go back to the first picture, and this is 9:43. We want to go back about 3 hours and see if we can show you here what it did do. And that would be about here. And we had, this was 5:55. I had it pegged for about 6 a.m. But we'll advance this slowly, 5 seconds at a time, and just watch what happens in the crater. We see that nasty plume come out of there, and it was sizable. It's not a small little eruption, and that definitely kept on going for a little while, and put out quite a bit of ash for those good people. And I don't know, it looks like it was actually blowing towards the camera here a little bit for a while, but that is what we were seeing, and that is at just about 6 a.m. this morning in Japan, and that is a lot of material coming out of there. But didn't it really, no lava to see though, unfortunately. And yeah, they're going to have more volcanic ash in the area. And as you can see, it's kind of bending this way, but also going back the other way. So two different wind directions here from the good old Mother Nature right now. We see the winds blowing inland, and of course that is getting up in the upper atmosphere, blowing out to the ocean, and that is typical of what we see happening in the early morning hours on a coastline. You'll see the wind at nighttime. The wind goes from land out to the ocean, and then as soon as some sun heat comes in, it moves the other way around and goes the opposite direction. So the wind comes into the land during the day. So pretty cool. And Kevin Haynes gifted 1 membership, and thank you, Kevin Haynes. Kevin Haynes, I'm just writing that down, and thank you very kindly for that. We'll take a look and see who gets it, and that is very kind of you, Kevin. Anyway, that is what we were seeing at Sakurajima, and then later on it did have another blast, and that was about 6:30, and we can see that one as well, and it kind of dissipated in that same manner that the first one kind of wiped out as. So That's kind of what we were seeing, and just thought we'd share that with you. After that, it got into the sunlight, and we didn't see that much more from it. There was a couple more small bursts. This one here about 7:30, I think. If I go ahead a little bit, and we should be able to see it, and yeah, right around there. Okay, and it really wasn't as powerful as the first ones, but it did throw out more ash, quite dark material coming out of there, and kind of makes you wonder where it's all going to land, and cause breathing problems for those people and all that kind of stuff. Alien head, 2 eyes, a nose, some kind of weird mouth. I don't know. We got aliens in there. Hey, where is OFU Lux anyway? I know he's around here somewhere. Welcome, Brian Rock Rail fan. I'm glad to have you on board. Anyway, I'm going to put that back on live. That is what it looks like there at present at Sakurajima. And hey, there, the ice cream boat is just about to dock. So you'll definitely be able to go down and get your ice cream. And it's a good thing we checked. I knew it was coming. I could see it off in the distance. And always nice to have the ice cream boat come in just in time for a break. That way people can get down there and get some ice cream. And for those who don't know, you go follow the road here and down there, and then at the lights down here, you hang a left and go down to the dock, and you'll be okay. And they're on either side of the dock, so you'll be able to pick, well, this one is on this side, obviously. The other boat usually parks on the other side. Anyway, you can get your ice cream there. It's all good. And on that friendly note, I think it's getting pretty close to break time. I'm going to double check and see if we actually have a Ta'al working. It was working earlier. It isn't anymore. We're going to refresh that, see if it is back up. And hopefully it will be. And we can go over there just for a minute. Right before the break, there it is. There is Ta'al, a volcano, and we can probably leave it on there for the duration of the break, so you guys can see how good it's steaming, and we may even see an eruption come out of it, and that would be nice too. A lot of off-gassing today, though. Oh, hang on, it didn't switch for me yet on my screen. I clicked the button. There we go. Now we're on Ta'al. Yep, I got it. I clicked it, but it didn't go. But you see how much steam is coming out, and at the level of the plume. So definitely got some oomph behind it today. And we'll see what happens. This may actually turn into an eruption if it's boiling off that much. So very, very steamy. And it is time for me to take a break, so we'll carry on after the break. For those good people who are here, I see we've got 74 likes up on the board so far. If you haven't hit that like button yet, of course our target is to get over that 100 mark. And also, if you're new and you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing if you're enjoying the show. On that friendly note, ooh, what was that? Just looking in here, I thought that was a really dark looking bit coming up here. Keep an eye on this, you guys, and I'll leave this on the screen for you, and it may pop. This looks a little bit more heavy duty than most of the steaming events that we normally watch, and it would be nice to capture this live. Anyway, I'm going to turn the music back on. Keep smiling, and I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. Okay, hang on. I'm clicking the wrong buttons here. Where's my boogie woogie music? Hey, what are you guys doing to my tall volcano? It's all full of clouds and things. I'll be back shortly. And the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. Good night to Tom and Pepper. Sleep well. And welcome, everyone. Thank you. Sharon Stewart says, I hear you, Dr. Fox. And thanks, Kevin Haynes and John Raper, Sasha, and Philomena. Thank you for the welcome backs, you guys. That is awesome. So, yeah, hey, I go on a break, and what do you guys do with my volcano? Wow, thanks, Hermione and Kananaska's country as well. Who threw in the dynamite? And that is pretty awesome looking, you guys. That is actually quite wild. And hang on here. I think we've been duped. We've been duped again. Look, you see what it says there? He's put on the March 26th stuff again. And here I'm thinking this thing is erupting. My God, what a guy. That's shameful. He put that back on there. And I thought here we had a live stream happening. We've been duped. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. March 26th eruption. That was nasty. Well, that is crazy to do that. Yeah, why run that? Dr. Fox, you should see Fuego. Okay, let's go have a look at Fuego. Maybe it's real. It's not some canned lava. Oh, boy. You know, that's always... no, Fuego isn't doing anything right now. Or is it? It's got a little bit of a blast. There is Fuego on the screen. Let's see if we can back that up just a tad bit. I'm very disappointed in that Taal. That wasn't very nice of them, was it? We'll go back a few minutes here and see what it was doing. Oh yeah, there. It was shooting off a little bit from Fuego. And if we continue on. Yeah, it's already in the clouds though, and that makes it a very, very poor visibility, but it is shooting off. This was just mere minutes ago, and that's what we seen. So interesting, but in the clouds, Fuego isn't as brilliant and bright as it normally is. Hopefully those clouds will dissipate. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed about Taal. That really wasn't nice. Anyway, a quick peek over at our wonderful Yellowstone National Park, and this lava is good enough for me. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, there is Yellowstone National Park. Anyone who wants to go and grab this, you can type in Yellowstone or Jellystone, and all one word, and it'll bring up the link for you. And steamy, cold Yellowstone. Yep, it is cold there. Very cold, and we don't like it. And kind of what we got, but what do we do? Anyway, you want to go to that site, and you are more than welcome to go there. They do have a bunch of maps on this page, and they also have this live stream embedded in it, and as well as a bunch of different different maps and things that you can take a look at. A very informative page, and that of course is courtesy of the National Park Service, and very cool site. So little antiquated as far as the camera technology. They could upgrade things a little, you know, like 4K would be nice. I'd even settle for a 1080p at this point, but you know. Anyway, let's not get too nasty with them. And there's another view right there, getting dark there as well. And they've got clear skies, which is pretty awesome as well for them. So really nice, but a lot colder. So let's go to someplace a little warmer, and we're going to go to Hawaii. And I know this is a little bit more real. And there we go, 46 minutes after midnight, and this is what our lava pond inside of Kilauea looked like. And that is actually a pretty awesome shot. And I was thinking about using that for my thumbnail today, but I seen the other one from the stuff from the canned lava, and I thought that lava river was a nicer choice. Eddie Otoro saying good night to Alba Girl. Alba Girl, are you leaving? Good night, Alba Girl. Take care, and have a good night, and rest well. Anyway, quick overview here. So lava's coming in at this end via the lava tube, and the flow comes in whatever path it can flow in, and of course it starts to crust over right away as soon as the air hits it. The brighter areas over here and along this backside here are where it is draining out, and of course you have, as the lava descends, we have gas bubbles that are being nice to nature and going up because they're lighter in weight, and they pop right through the crusted over material and create those very hot looking spots on top. Going to refresh that to current time though, and there is what it looks like right now. That is actually fairly clean looking for a change, and I'm glad that we can see it, and very nice that we see where the lava has come in, and you can see the definite change in pattern around the edge, and it's cleaned itself up for the most part, it looks like. All the little debris that was laying in here is now subsided into the lava pond. We are still seeing all our bubbling areas over here, and that is pretty cool, and that includes the passage to the toe area back there, but we're still not seeing anything new in the toe area. Let's take a look at the next one. It must have been raining or something when we had these shots. That was from 48 minutes after midnight their time. I'm going to refresh that and then see what it looks like right now. There we go. Primary event right about here. The little Hornito is right in here, very hard to see. And then it's got a lava tube that feeds into here. Notice the smoke really high up on the side here coming out near the mid section of the caldera wall. Very interesting, and still waiting for that to spew out some lava. That would be cool. And looking at the other stuff around the edges here, not bad as far as the way everything is. You can really see it looks like this whole area has risen up again. It looks like this is a lot lower today. I don't know if it's just an optical illusion, but it does look like it is going downhill quite a bit. So we may have had a little bit of a rise in the lava pond island here, and that may have come up a little bit more. We'll take a look and keep an eye on it. Take a look at the other shots again from 41 minutes after midnight, or 42 minutes for this guy, lava pond, and there you see it. This is the other angle. I'm going to refresh that, take a look at the current picture. Kind of in the smoke a little bit, so we don't see so well, but you see the smoke coming up right up here in the forefront. That is, of course, from that little sidewall vent that is smoking so much. Lava pond right there, and of course primary vent, and you can't see where the lava is coming in today. It's just too much smoke in the way. Quick peek at the thermals, and this was the thermal from 44 minutes after midnight, and primary vent is there. You can see the glow of the little Hornito lava tube would be buried underneath here, and there's our tow area in the back, and that is not very bright right now. Let's refresh that. We'll take a look, and yeah, it's getting smaller here, getting smaller over there. A little brighter in here for a change, but and really not much different, and kind of being relatively quiet. Popping over to other ones, let's take a look here. This, of course, from there's no view of what we've got going on there at 46 minutes after midnight up on Mauna Loa. We do have to refresh that, and that is what it looks like now. But since this is what it is, we are going to do something a little different here, and I hope this will work. And I may have to do a recapture on this shot. Let's start that out. Actually, yeah, that I'm going to have to do another grab on this to get it to fit in properly here for us. As soon as the screen changes, we'll do our thing here. And will it work? No, maybe not. I have to wait. Oh, there we go. That's not what I wanted. Let me try that again. Remove that. Anyway, we're doing a Mauna Loa flyover, and this was posted from the 28th of October. And here we're flying in a helicopter over top of Mauna Loa. And this video is actually about 10 minutes long. I am going to post the link for that video, and you guys are more than welcome to have a look. And it is from the USGS, and that is the flyover video. We won't play the whole thing, but it does give you hang on, what's going on here? My thing didn't capture. I need to capture that. Come on, computer, you can do it. Smart section. There, we'll stop it for a second. We'll grab that and give you a better picture. There we go. And waiting for it. There we go. All right, that looks better. Does it get better quality-wise? No, 720p, unfortunately. But it is a neat looking thing that you can see the different craters up top. You do see some smoke in some of the areas. Makes you wonder what the heck is going on up there. And very interesting to see that smoke. And like I said, this was published on the 28th. So we kind of wonder what the heck they've got going on up top on Mauna Loa. Kathy is going. Take care, Kathy, and aloha to you. Or is it Trevor that's going? No, Kathy is going. Okay, 365 miles from me. Yep, close proximity. And, you know, I never realized that that terrain looks so alien-like. You know, like it'd be Mars or something. Put a little more red tinge in it, and you'd think that you're on a different planet. And here's some of the caldera walls. And you see how deep those walls are. And that is pretty amazing to see how large that crater actually is. And they come up on a special crater in here. And I am a little bit baffled with it because I'm not familiar with it so much. Information on HLVO is October 14th. Info Kilauea is in orange. Mauna Loa is yellow. Ooh, okay. Kilauea still or back to an orange from. Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, actually, Kathy may know this big hole that we're about to see, Kathy. Maybe you can throw some words of wisdom in once we see it on here. And it is a very, very deep-looking pit. And there it is, just coming into view on the left-hand side. And that looks kind of ominous. It's just like a circle in the ground. And they will come back over to it and take a look at it here because that is kind of neat. And I didn't realize that there was such a pit in there. I always thought that the caldera was that flat area up on the top, this area here, but I didn't know about this hole. And I'm kind of wondering what the heck is going on there. That is a deep pit. And yeah, you don't want to do anything nasty to fall in there. And that is pretty awesome. So, very interesting to see the top of Mauna Loa like that. And wow, pretty awesome. And then if you look in the distance, you can see the other mountains as well. Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, and some, not Mauna Loa, I mean Kilauea, and Mauna Kea. So, pretty awesome. Anyway, I will let you guys go watch the rest of that if you like, and that is okay there. Maybe what I'll do is I actually want to go back and see if I can get Ta'al working, because that really bugs me. Yeah, he's not showing any live streams right now. That was not very nice to put that live and make us think that it's erupting. And Brian, Rock Rail fan, take care, and thanks for being here. I appreciate you coming in. All good. And let's see if we get on our next screen. We're actually going to take a look at the earthquakes in Hawaii, and we did have a couple of interesting extra ones, and we'll leave this be so you guys can always come and take a look at it on your own. As I said, that link was dropped in there, so we'll leave it be, and let me stop that though, and there we go. You guys are more than welcome to take a look. So it's October 28th of 2022 Mauna Loa flyover. is what the USGS video is called. Let's get that off the screen. We'll put it back on this guy so I can find it. And on that note, let's pop over to the earthquakes real quick and get them out of the way real fast before the break. And zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we do see this one on the far side of Mauna Kea, 2.2. 3:43 a.m., 5.7 kilometers below sea level for that originating quake. And let's take a look real fast at the Pahala. Most of the ones in the Pahala are between 26 and 37 kilometers down. Let's just go through them really quickly. 1.2, 17:03 was the time. And this one is 2.0, 8:35 a.m. The one right on the shoreline here, 1.8, 13:43. This guy is 1.8, 14:29. 2.3 from 10:44 a.m. This newest one, 2.2, 18:22. And this bigger one, 2.6, 1:07 a.m. And then we've got this guy here, 1.8, and that was from 54 a.m. Then we've got these guys here, 1.8, 8:24 a.m., 1.8 from actually yesterday, 23:12. This one, 2.3 from 9:20, and this guy, 2.0, and that is from 15:55. Grabbing that guy 2.0 from 19:59 yesterday, and this is 2.0 from 6:07 a.m. Then we've got this one here, 2.3 10:53 a.m., 2.2 6:21 a.m. for him. Sliding up onto Mauna Loa real quick. And Dinkle Storm Chaser, a renewed membership. Thank you, Dinkle Storm Chaser. I appreciate that. And another month of Lava School. There you go. 2.1, 21:44 was the time on it, 500 meters below sea level. 2.2 from 4:22, 200 meters above sea level. 2.0 from yesterday at 21:32. This guy here, 2.1 from yesterday at 22:46. This guy to 1.7 from today at 1:49 a.m. Then we've got our swarm starting to happen back out here again. Kind of odd. 1.7, 5:01 a.m. 3 kilometers above sea level. 2.3, 12:42. 2.8 kilometers above sea level. 2.9 kilometers above sea level for this 2.7 from 2:08 a.m. Then we've got a 1.8. That's 1.5 kilometers above sea level, and that is 5:01 a.m. Then we've got this one here, 2.1 from 5:12 a.m., 2.7 kilometers below sea level, 1.9, and that is 22:48 was the time on it yesterday, 600 meters below or above sea level. And then this guy, 2.1, 22:46, kilometer and a half up into the mountain. And this one is a 1.7, and that is from 149, 600 meters above sea level as well. Really quickly sliding over here, we do see a couple more. This one on the side of the hill, a little bit bigger, 3.3, 6.5 kilometers down, 3 minutes after midnight is when that happened. And here we've got a little bit of activity, and this new one, 2.1, 18:11 was the time on it, right at sea level for him. Then we have this 1.9 from 22:21 yesterday, 700 meters below sea level. And this one here is 300 meters below sea level, 22:41 from yesterday as well. So that is our quakes for Hawaii, and we will leave those be. And it is going to be break time for me, and I need to do that to save my voice and my sanity. And anyway, never mind about the sanity. It's my voice I worry about. Be good, be kind, and stick around. We've got more stuff to come, and it is break time. So if you are enjoying the show, please do hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you have not yet hit the subscribe button sitting on the outside, wondering if you feel we've earned it, by all means, give it a quick bop. On that friendly note, I am going to turn on some music, and I'm going to find you some lava. I think it's canned lava again, and we'll get over there. So we'll do that for the break, and then we'll come back and look at the other earthquakes around the world. I'll be back. Thanks. And there we go. The microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching a VolcanoX live stream. I'm going to stop our canned lava here, and we're going to get right back to the earthquakes. Thank you for the welcome backs from all you good people. Let's see. We got Sue and Kananaskis Country and Sasha. Welcome back, Fab Doc Fox. Okay, cool, and thank you. And thank you, Hermione. And of course, Piggy is having some trouble with power in her area. And we're going to go give you a reason why right now. And looking here at what we see, there is a fresh quake, 4.8. And Piggy did email me and told me that she definitely felt that. This is the island of Kos, and this is where that quake happened. And 4.8 is sizable, so definitely within a range, although she is quite a distance away from it. So they were getting some power outages. I'm not sure what was causing them, but that is because of this quake, and that's what we're thinking anyway. So that is out there. I just wanted to look at the other map real quick, and it'll take a second to come up, and we'll zoom in on that so you can see, and there it is. And they've had some aftershocks there as well. If we zoom in a little bit more, you can see looks like pre-planned boom 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 in a row, and one up top, one down on the bottom. Anyway, that is a little ways away from the island of Kos. There's Kos here, and that is where the quake happened. So not too far away. And of course, there was another little guy here that was from yesterday, 2.5. So we're not going to worry about him. Let's get back to this other one. Something off the coast of Mexico. We'll see what happens there in a second. And we want to get actually mid-Atlantic ridge. As we go down here, we see this guy, 5.4 on the Rakens Ridge, and that is near the end of it. And that, of course, is before the bend, and that is in that same spot where we had all that previous activity. And that is actually a fair-sized quake. Happened at 1447, and they're indicating 10 kilometers down for that guy. And here's another one up here, 5.1 in Romania. Unusual place to see a quake, but they did have one there, and that is not so good. Further down the mid-Atlantic ridge, and we do see a couple more, 5.2, and they call that the southern mid-Atlantic ridge. And then we also have this one, 4.7. And thank you, Barbell, for that nice super chat. Barbell 88 and 279. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, and awesome. Thank you all. Love the show. Glad you do. Going down a little bit more, we see another one here, South Sandwich Islands, 4.7. And we'll sneak back up the coast here of Chile, and we are seeing this guy right here. Where am I? 4.7 in Chile as well. 8:37 a.m. 31.3 kilometers down. What was the depth on this one? 107 down by the South Sandwich Islands. But let's see what this one is. Bolivia, 4.8 from 1837, 113.2 kilometers down. And this was the newer one up here that was off the Mexican coast. 4.7, 1:44 a.m. is when that happened, 65.2 kilometers down for him. And then we also noticed this 3.0, and that is 1 kilometer west-northwest of Falls City, Texas. That is a fair-sized quake. A little bit unusual to see a quake there. We are normally seeing them here and here, but to see one there and there, a little unusual for the most part. sliding up a little bit more. We do see this one, and that is a 3.5, and they call that near Brendan, Oregon, but that is the Wanda Fuca plate pushing in a little bit. Actually, I think it's the Pacific plate pushing up against the Wanda Fuca plate at that point, and it'll eventually push a little bit more, and we'll see some more earthquakes in here as it gets pushed. Hopefully some little quakes. If we don't see any quakes, that means pressure is building and we're waiting for the big one. And going out here, we don't see very much new stuff, nothing new really on the New Zealand side, and the Kermadec Ridge area, Fiji, Tonga, all pretty quiet. Go a little further to the northwest. Vanuatu 4.7, 1758 was the time on this guy, 220 kilometers down. The other buddy there was 4.5 from 1:15 a.m., 130 kilometers down for him. Getting out here, this would be Papua New Guinea, 4.9, 26 kilometers down, happened at 5:27 a.m. A rude awakening for some people, right? This one here, Banda Sea, 5.3, 12:46 was the time on it, 74.1 kilometers down. And it looks like Ibu and Dakolo are over here, but they're kind of shaken with this, 4.9, and that is 15:29 was the time on it, 66.4 kilometers down for him. The other one, 4.6, 21:54 yesterday, 100 kilometers down, 100.8, moving up the ridge a little bit here. And that, of course, is all part of the Philippines. We are seeing this one here, 4.6, 49 minutes after 6 a.m., 10 kilometers down for him, and 4.6 from 13:21, 67.7 kilometers down for that. And, of course, Taal is here. That is not very far away. That is Taal volcano. And of course, you have the other ones over here. You've got Bulusan and Mayon and a couple of others that are inactive. Anyway, sliding up a little bit more, we do see a couple off the coast of Japan, 4.3 from 14:16, 36.7 kilometers down for that one. Then we've got a 4.8 from 5:16, 66.8 clicks down for him as well. Moving over, we don't see anything in China. This one be Afghanistan, and 4.3 from 17:04, 216 kilometers down. And this one would be in, is that Iran? It is too, 4.1, and that is from yesterday at 20:03, 10 kilometers down for him. And we've already talked about the one that Piggy definitely felt, and that was at 4.8 in Turkey, and that was from 1829. And then we had this one here, 5.1 out in Romania, and no, Piggy didn't feel that one. It's too far away. Jumping over real quick, taking a look at, going to refresh that though. This is our Canary Islands maps, and I want to zoom out here a little bit. And the reason I do that is I want to look at this top area here, and of course that is the East Azores fault up there, and that is the divider between the Eurasian plate and the African plate. And we do see the star flashing on La Palma. So very quickly taking a look at what we had today. We did have a few quakes, not quite as many as yesterday, but still there are some there. 0.8, 9 kilometers down for this one. 124 is the time on it. A 0.9 at 1:48 a.m., 10 kilometers down for him. 0.8, 12 kilometers down from 4:09 a.m. Then we've got a 0.7, 5:06 a.m., 10 kilometers down. We also have a 1.3 from 5:38, 7 kilometers down. and of course the latest one, and that is just about right in the right spot for our Cumbre Vieja lava that flowed out, and that could be lava pressure causing that old lava. 2239 was the time on it, 1.4 in magnitude, 4 kilometers down. So pretty normal, I guess, for right now. But we'll see what happens in the future. And quick peek over at the volcano map, and I don't think that there was that much new stuff on it. And we do see our 2 up here in Iceland, our 2 in the Azores, and nothing in the Canary Islands, of course, and then Michael Volcano down here, South Sandwich Islands, and nothing new in the Ring of Fire kind of thing. And looking at what we've got here, they are still indicating Kilauea as red, and I think Kathy had mentioned they put it to an orange, so we may see a change here in the future, but we'll see what happens, because it hasn't really done a heck of a lot lately. And no change down here. White Isle Volcano still an orange. Taupo still doing its thing as a yellow, and of course Tonga and Home Reef Volcano here, sorry, Tofua and the Home Reef Volcano in Tonga doing their thing. Vanuatu still the way it is. Papua New Guinea, I think we have an extra orange one here. We're gonna have to take a look at tomorrow's and see if these are going to change to red or something. And zooming in a little bit so we get a better look here. Luolatak, that's Rangoon and Semeru, Merapi and Krakatau. And that is the lineup down there in Indonesia. Ibu and Dukono right there is still red hot. There's that quake I was talking about not too far away from, so kind of makes you wonder. And then of course we've got this other one here, this Kara Ting, what? Gang Get Tang? Yeah, okay. Gesundheit. I don't know. We'll try that name later. Practice a whole bunch. And of course, Bulasan and Mayon right there, and Taal showing what we've got there. And going up a little bit more, Suwanosi Jmouse and Sakura Shima are still showing red. We still have Nishimo Shima out here still as an orange, and nothing has changed there. And Kamchatka Peninsula, Korimsky, Bezimiani, and Shivalesh are still doing their thing. And we haven't seen any updates on Shivalesh. I was looking today to see if there was more stuff coming out of it, but no, nothing. So we'll leave that be. And quick peek, Erebus still down there in the bottom of the map in Antarctica. Heard Island Volcano still a yellow. Piton del la Fornaise out in Reunion Island still there. And of course we have our standard stuff in the Congo. DR Congo is still there. Old Dion, oh, I can't even say it, never mind. Still there, Doño, there it is. Old Doño, the black carbonate lava volcano is still active in an orange state. Urta Ale is still happening. And over here, Etna, still an orange, nothing has changed. Stromboli still red as it continues to do its thing. And we're back to Iceland, and there we go. So that is our quakes and our volcanoes for today. For those who are a little bit more curious here, just a quick peek and showing you what the ring of fire actually looks like. There you go. Those are all the volcanoes. The green ones, there's about 1,375 of them if you want to count them and that's a pretty darn big number as far as I'm concerned of inactive volcanoes. And even if 10% were to go, so 130 of them, we would have a real big problem on this planet. Anyway, I don't want to incite fear or anything, but that's kind of what it is. If we had that many going, in addition to what we already have, it would really mess us up. Even if we had double the amount that we have right now, which is really only in the 24 active volcanoes that are red. If we ended up with 48, that would really cause some problems on the planet with the amount of SO2 and everything else that would be dumped into our atmosphere. Speaking of SO2, let's go over there, and we are going to have to refresh that page. And that is a little bit old already. We'll see how quick we can refresh. Ooh, and I see they still have our snow in here from Friday night till just about Saturday night. Okay, looking at what we've got in North America, looks pretty normal. The plume coming off of Kamchatka is definitely getting pushed over by the jet stream, and it's riding it along, dumping it into British Columbia and coming into Alberta, and that is then kind of dissipating down into the U.S. And then, of course, we see a lot of people pollution in the eastern portions of Canada and the U.S. Pretty normal. And here's the different weather patterns that we were seeing there in Mexico, still continuing with the winds blowing up in kind of a weird way because of a system that is sitting here just north of Arizona. And that is blowing that straight north rather than out into the Pacific like it should. And as we go down Central America, all of it is coming into the Pacific, which is all right. And then we see the directions change here as the looping goes through for these ones here. Some of it is coming into the Pacific, but kind of weird the way this is coming over and then heading up north and then ending up dissipating over other countries. So pretty wild there. Sliding over a little bit, looking at White Isle Volcano. There we are, and it's not too bad. Australia, bottom end, refineries here near Melbourne, not bad. Coking plants still working away. North of Sydney, of course. Tofua still there. We don't see anything coming off of Home Reef volcano at all. And then, of course, Vanuatu still producing their stuff with Yasur and his buddies up there. Pretty normal here for the area of Papua New Guinea, nothing new. And same thing with down here from Luolatok, Semeru, Marapi, and Krakatau. And then, of course, here, Ebu and Dakono are doing that little bit. And going up a little bit more, we do see some of the SO2 would be coming off of either Bulusan or Mayon, as well as some stuff possibly coming off of Taal volcano, and that would be kind of normal for them. Normal stuff in China, as well as Taiwan pollution. And down here, Suwanosi-jima doing its thing, and then as well as Sakurajima is still off-gassing quite heavily, and getting up into the Kamchatka Peninsula. Looks like everything is heading up, and then getting divided into two different directions up here, which is okay. And South Africa, pretty normal, hugging the coast, that's okay. Here's the stuff coming from DR Congo, 2 volcanoes there and some coking plants. Urta Ale would be making this little plume in here. The rest of these are oil refineries doing their thing. And here's the change in wind pattern. Oh, what have we got happening there? the change in wind pattern that we've seen and blowing it at the opposite direction, and it ends up coming out here a little bit into the below the boot, and that is kind of what we're seeing there. And pretty good up in Spain, France, most of Germany, Austria, those areas, Switzerland, everybody there is all good. Irish Monkland, not bad. England has a little bit of SO2, Scotland a little bit more clear, and I do see a plume coming off the Reykjanes Peninsula out here from Iceland. That is our SO2 report for today. I'm going to put it onto the map for our weather, and we'll definitely take a look and see what our weather is doing after the break. I need to calm my throat down. It's starting to heat up, so hopefully you guys will stick around for the weather afterwards, the break, and we'll see what happens. Let's see if we've gotten up. We only made it to 90 so far. And yeah, if there is more people in here that have not bopped that like button, please help us out. 100 is the magic number that always seems to be a little better than 90 according to the YouTube analytics. So give it a quick shot if you haven't done so. And I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the Great White North, which has got clear skies and moonlit night and a bunny over in Bunnyland, and we're all good. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Don't go away, you guys. Thank you. And I am back. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. And we're getting near the end of our stream today. I stopped my lava, and we are still going to do the weather, though, and that is important. We need to know what the heck is happening around the world, so thank you for the welcome backs from Sue Hayes and Sasha and Sharon Stewart saying, I hear you, Dr. Fox 2000. And awesome, I'm glad that you do. And there we go. Let's have a look and see what we've got for weather. I did refresh that map a little bit, and we're going to run through it fairly quick, though. A little bit odd. We see some warmer air up here, and of course here in Alaska some colder temps. We also see some colder temps on the western side of the Mackenzie River. Right there you can see everything there, and that is up in the northwest, Yukon Territory. Northwest Territories is on the east side, and then of course the colder stuff here in Nunavut. Really cold temps, though, are here in the wonderful Greenland at minus 41 degrees Celsius in some places, not so nice. Looking at what we see in most of North America here, we see this cold dip way down into the U.S. and a definite divider line or shear line right going through the Midwest and all the way up into northern Ontario. So right now places like Chicago, warm weather, and then you go over into the next state over and you're down a bunch of degrees. Very cold here in Alberta today, showing about 8 degrees, minus 8 degrees Celsius for Edmonton right now, minus 5 in Calgary. Vancouver a little bit warmer at about 3 or 4, and that is kind of what we see. But as soon as you get back into the interior of British Columbia or any of the other areas here, and most of the prairies, quite cold, minus 12 on the Saskatchewan side here. In some spots down around Swift Current, we're probably only about minus 7, minus 8. Winnipeg, a little bit warmer today, about 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, and sliding down into Ontario. We see where that warm band is, and that is actually migrated right into Quebec as well, up in the north. It is actually cooler down here in Toronto and that area than it is up in here, 12 degrees, 13 degrees there, and 7 in Toronto. And Detroit coming in, they're in the warmer stuff, about 13 for those guys, 11 in Quebec and in Montreal, and Quebec coming in at 5 degrees. Looking at New Brunswick, a little bit a kind of mixed bag here as far as some of that warm air trying to sneak in and not doing too good. And we also see the colder temperatures here in Nova Scotia and PEI as well. And then looking at what we're seeing in Newfoundland, quite a cool Coal Harbor coming in at 8 degrees Celsius. So that's actually somewhere where the 8 is. And that is actually not bad. And for them, considering all that warm air, you'd think it'd warm up there a little bit with the wind blowing at 13, 14 degrees onto the land. We'd want to see some warmer stuff. Newfoundland, Labrador area, Burr, I don't want to be there. And we see that massive low out here. That was that storm. It has moved up, and it is sitting there now. I don't know where that is going to go. If it comes over and decides to go over to England, or maybe it'll head up north. We'll see what happens. Anyway, looking at what we're seeing here, boy, down to 12 degrees Celsius. That is Death Valley, yeah. Hang on. What is it in Death Valley? I think Death Valley died. Um, Hang on. We'll look at maybe 18. Yeah, 18 degrees Celsius in Death Valley. Make sure you put on a warm coat. You're going to freeze to death if you don't. Most of California also feeling that very cold air all the way down into LA, coming in at 13, 14 degrees. Mexicali, not that much warmer at only 15. And like I say, we are seeing 12 there in Phoenix, Tucson at 12 as well. Lost Vegas, 7 degrees, and that is not very good for those guys. Tourism is going to be down real quick. We see that shear line cutting halfway through New Mexico, bottom half, enjoying all the way up to about 20, 21 degrees top side. Yeah, some places -6, -7, not so good. All of Texas looks fair, with the bottom end getting the higher temperatures around 25. But as soon as we go up, 23 in Dallas, and San Antonio 23, 24 there. Austin, kind of the same thing. Houston, 24. If we go up into Oklahoma City, we see it dropping and a little bit at a time. Kansas City about 20. But you go over the line into Omaha, Nebraska, and there you go, 11 degrees, not very far apart. And definitely Minneapolis is kind of riding the ridge here at 17 degrees Celsius. Bottom end for the most part here in the U.S., not too bad. Looking at Florida, 24, 25 degrees, not bad at all. Starting to cool off on the eastern side of the country, though. Seeing Atlanta only at about 15 degrees wintertime temperatures. So on Georgia, a little, still relatively not bad. You know, it could be worse. Charlotte, North Carolina is 15, about 15 for Raleigh, same place that Grandma B is from. By the way, I didn't mention it. Thank you for that $5 super chat, Grandma B. It did not go unnoticed. It's just my slip here slid underneath the keyboard, and I just pulled it out now as soon as I looked at your weather there. So anyway, Baltimore 12, Philadelphia in Pennsylvania 11 degrees, New York about 10, 11 as well, Boston about the same temperature. So East Coast about the same. And let's see, Cancun down here real quick, 26 degrees Celsius. Lisa, the storm, is sitting here on the Yucatan Peninsula and doing its thing. And let's see, we do see these other lows here. It looks like we've got 3 separate ones now, and hopefully those aren't going to turn into storms. And looking at what our evening temperatures are there in the Amazon and those places, 20, ranging between about 19, 20 to about 26 degrees for the most part there in Brazil. And looking at the cold spot out here, I don't know why it's so much colder, 8, 9 degrees. Must be higher elevation or something. And seeing Rio de Janeiro coming in at about 14, 15 degrees, Sao Paulo about 11, Buenos Aires about 16, 17, and portions of Uruguay not bad temperature-wise. You get out to the coast, a little colder. This high is being bad and driving in some of that cooler air. The rest of the southern portions of Argentina look not bad. Don't see anything too severe down on the bottom end there either of Chile. And zooming into what we see here in New Zealand, west coast, quite cold. and East Coast nice and toasty at 19, 20 degrees depending on where you are. And North Island, of course, a lot nicer weather, 22 for the high from what we see, but looking at pretty awesome. Tasmania actually not that cold today, which is nice for those guys. Hobart coming in about 15 degrees Celsius, and they've got the western, northeastern part here a little bit warmer than some of the other areas. Melbourne coming in at about 15, 16 degrees, and Adelaide about the same temperature, maybe a tad warmer. But we do see the warmer air is starting to filter back into Australia. 19 degrees in Sydney, and home of Oz, and that is coming in at about 24 degrees Celsius there. And we see a lot of very, very warm temps in the northern portions. Kind of cuts off here before it gets to Perth though, and they're only at about 18, 19 degrees. We do see that massive low sitting right there, working away. And we see pretty decent temperatures for the most part through Papua New Guinea and the Indonesian area, Malaysian areas, Philippines, and so on. Bangkok weather today should be somewhere around 26, 27 degrees, and that's what we're seeing right there. And there we go. Thanks, Sue, for bringing that up. And that is 52% relative humidity there. That's really dry for those guys. They're going to need some skin lotion for sure. And seeing these cold streams coming into the Sea of Japan and the Yellow Sea and East China Sea starting to really cool off. We do see warmer temperatures on the bottom end of Japan. Get just past Osaka though, and it starts to cool off really quickly. And going up here, wow, definitely getting a little cooler. And of course, Kamchatka Peninsula, you don't even want to look at it. And Siberia starting to get cold up here as well. Zipping down into India, and they are pretty normal for nighttime temperatures. They do have another low here forming into a storm. Same thing goes for South Africa, a little bit on the cooler side today, but still relatively nice, looking at about 16, 17 in Cape Town, and Madagascar on the western side is the warmer side. And we see the east getting a little bit of other temperature there, a little cooler because of the higher elevations. And here, of course, our Congo area and the rainforests and things like that, a little bit more moderate temperatures. The Sahara Desert, variable, some places as low as 12, and some places as high as about 25. So nothing too severe. That looks like right in here is about where we're seeing the warmest part of 27 degrees. A lot cooler in Oman and Yemen, and of course Saudi Arabia, and even UAE, only about 23, 24 degrees in that area. We do see some 28 degree temperatures right in here at Doha, and that is kind of nice for them. Hopefully they're all good with that. And of course the colder temps starting to seep into Iran a little bit more. And I ran away from Iran, and Iraq is cool on the top as well, single digits, low single digits. Turkey looking quite cool. And let's have a quick peek here. The island of Kos still holding in at about 19, 20 degrees for Piggy right now. Well, we can check that weather real quick and see what we've got going on there. And let's pop over a little bit more while we're looking for that. And we see Sicily, not bad, 19 degrees around the edges, 21 in the western portions. And there you go. Piggy's temperature right now, 18 C. So that is not bad. 64 Celsius. And looking at what we've got here in the Italy, it's actually colder down on the bottom here in the higher elevations than up in the northern portions. Milano coming in at 13, and Rome coming in about 18. Naples 18 as well. And New Monkland, Sardinia, is showing some nice temps, 20, 21, and 22 on the coastal areas, down to about 15 on the highlands. And moving on, seeing Spain, top half quite cool, bottom half fairly normal. And looking at France, there's that nasty low sitting there just in between England and France, in of course the English Channel, as they call it. And we do see France has got some variable temperatures, cold down on the bottom too, but not too bad. I mean, it is November, so to be expected. Munich about 10 degrees, Cologne about 10, seeing 10 in Hamburg, and 8 in Berlin. So that's what we've got going there. Showing Amsterdam about 10 degrees right now as well. And Brussels about 9. And I'm not sure. It looks a little cooler in Luxembourg today. Sliding up, looking at Denmark. Top end. Wow, top end actually the warmer spot at 12. Bottom end here 9, 10 degrees for the most part there. Looking at Oslo today, seeing that about 8, and 8 over in Stockholm. And what we look at, Copenhagen at 11, Riga coming in at about 7, and St. Petersburg, 0, and not good. Zooming out a little bit, looking at everything in general, we see these lows, that storm and this one here wreaking havoc on the whole areas. And of course, looking at old Irish Monkland, about 6-7 degrees. So Doolin would be somewhere around there, 7 degrees or so. England, for the most part, about 4 or 5. Wales, a little bit warmer on the edges here, but nothing too great. And of course, a lot cooler up in the place where they wear the kilts. And let's go up Scotland, of course. Going up into Iceland, taking a quick look at Reykjavik, and that is coming in at 0 degrees. And we do see that it is 0 in many places out on the Reagan's Peninsula as well. And likely our volcano is, we need to get some heat in there. Somebody turn on the volcanoes, and we can warm Iceland up again and turn it back into a tropical place like it once was. Oh, hang on, it never was. And that is kind of going around the world real quick in the weather portion. Let's take a look at precipitation. Here's what's nailing the west coast of Canada and US, and British Columbia getting a lot of snowfall. We do see some snow up in Alaska and the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and then when we get further over, we're clear here for now in Alberta and Saskatchewan, but northern portions of Manitoba right up against the Hudson's Bay and northern Ontario getting some stuff. We have this whole system coming across from about Phoenix, actually not Phoenix, Tucson on northward, and that is going right through Colorado and portions of New Mexico. And then as we get up a little bit further, we see there's probably some lake effect on there as well. Looks dry in the eastern portions of North America, other than up here in Quebec and a little bit here off the Newfoundland, but nothing too severe. A little bit of ice rain there too. sliding down. Here's Lisa, and that has definitely parked itself right there where the Yucatan Peninsula is, of course. And yep, it's doing its thing. So we do have some variable storms going through those areas, and a little bit into South America here. Venezuela and Colombia seeing a bit of rain, but also some dry patches. And then along the coastal area, so some of the other countries that are along here, like Guyana, French Guiana, that type of stuff, they're getting some rain. Eastern portions of Brazil are getting some storm activity. And the rest of everything looking not bad here through Argentina and Chile and those areas. Nothing until you get way down on the bottom end of Chile before they get some rain down there. And here's why it's cold on the west side of New Zealand. We see that system bringing everything in, and it must be a park right over top of here. It must be a low or a high trying to develop. There's a high here, and this, I don't know whether that's a low or a high, but either or, it's there. Hey, Yvonne, I made it in. Glad to have you on board, Yvonne. And just running through the weather, looking at what we've got, and of course, we'll see our Fiji area, and likely over here in Tonga, they're getting some rain and storms. 'Tis the season for that. And then we also see that here in our Philippine and Malaysian and Indonesian area. It continues to do its thing, going all the way to the bottom end of India. This low down here is one of the guys that's helping bring that stormy stuff in. The high sitting here, of course, spinning the other way. That is pulling in warmer air. This is dumping up colder air, and hence the moisture outbreak. And looking at what we see coming across the Pacific, we see that nasty low with some heavy shear lines, a big high sitting there. A little bit of rain in Hawaii from the looks of things for those good people. And looking at Japan, we do have some rain just, I guess, north of Osaka, and a little bit north of Tokyo as well. And this system here, that shear line parking itself right into the Kamchatka Peninsula, and we see they are getting some rain there as well. This low is not helping anybody. Not making friends there, Mr. Low. And pretty normal here in the Indian Ocean, and looking at a little bit of rain on the northern portions of Madagascar, but nothing too bad. And then South Africa, definitely getting a little bit down there. Congo area, of course, are going to be raining. It's a rainforest. And dry in the Sahara Desert, dry in Saudi Arabia and Iraq and those places. I do see some rain here in Iran, but that is not so bad. And looking for Piggy to see if she's going to get any rain, and I don't see anything in her immediate future, not for a day or two. Looking at Sicily, not much for weather there right now, but as soon as you get to about Rome and northward, all the way up into the Alps, and then all the way into Germany as well, we do see that low that's in there doing its thing. That is also getting a new Irish monkland wet as well. Spain looks fairly dry today, and we do see this nasty system sitting right in between the England and France, of course, and in the English Channel for the most part, and pretty nasty. And here's another low sitting off the coast of Denmark and Holland, and it's doing its thing as well. So Germany definitely getting some of that rain, and that probably isn't too bad for right now. It is kind of November, and things like that happen. We see a bottom end of our way here, getting nailed pretty good too. A little bit into Sweden, but not that bad. And then we will zoom in over here and have a quick look at what we see. Ice rain in the northeastern portions of Iceland, and that's not uncalled for, and you know, it's pretty normal. Same thing with that weather up in the north, and looking at a little bit dry but foggy down in our area, and that is of course our Ragnar area. We do see that system here, and like I said, I don't know which way this is going to go. It likely will head in and go up and mix in with some of these guys here. So if we see that, we'll take a look tomorrow. So this is just out from down from Greenland, not quite straight under it, but over a little bit. We'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, let's go down and just find the coldest temperature on the planet, and then we will wrap things up for today, and that'll be lots of fun. And let's see what we've got here. It's a pretty balmy temperatures. I seen a minus 56 here a second ago, and I see a minus 56 right there. So that is already pretty good. Let's see if we can find anything else a little colder right around that minus 56 mark. And I don't see anything else colder. So I think I am going to stick with a minus 56 as my low for today. And I don't see any other ones in that area. So that's it for today, you guys, and we'll wrap it up. I see a minus 53 there. Is that colder? No, warmer in that area. Oh, minus 54. Oh, there's another 56 right there as well. Do we have a 57? No, I guess not. I'll stick with it. Minus 56 degrees Celsius. So yep, make sure you bundle up those penguins and keep them warm, you guys. That is important. And then Yvonne Kunkel, you've won the free trip to Erebus. You don't have to do too much rowing, but you're more... Never mind. You don't want to go there. Erebus would be too cold to go to. It is summer though. This is their warm season, so you might enjoy it. Anyway, on that friendly note, it is time for me to wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. I thank every one of you for being here. Wishing you all a good day / night. See you either in a bunny or the next volcano stream. Alrighty, and yeah, we did have a bunny there earlier and he left. Take care, Yvonne, and all the best to you, and thanks for popping in. Always appreciate that. And let's throw it back on the canned lava and wrap things up. So quickly to run through here, we did have a few little super chats. 2 from Piggy, and that was very kind of Piggy to throw those 2 small ones in there, as well as Barbell 88 and Grandma B. So 4 little super chats. Thank you guys, as well as membership gifting from Kevin Haynes. I did not see who actually got it, but nonetheless, that was very kind, and from all of you. Awesome stuff, and a big thank you to each and every one of you here that is a member or just a member of our lava family. Even if you're not green, you're still a wonderful member of the family, and we appreciate that. So be good and be kind, everyone. A big thank you to the moderators: Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy, and Gary 24/7 Live. He's at Skies, and possibly Lucas Snow, and Joseph Fields as well. And thank you to all of you. And really, I do appreciate the wonderful support for the stream. On that friendly note, it is a time for me to say good night and to say my most famous line here. Please, please remember, tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, in the Great White North. And we'll see you everyone tomorrow. Take care. Oink, oink, and good night.